Hey, what's up, guys? I want to respond to one comment I got on one of my videos. The video was, is NPP a wet compound? And this guy says, hey, brother, he respects my journey. I'm doing things safely, learning in harm mitigation, real world approaches, and keep making the contact, brother. It's straightforward and real. Thank you for that. Like, I really appreciate it. That's what my intention is just to put out there things. First of all, it's on my mind. It's things I'm thinking about that specific day a lot of the time. But it's real to me. And I want to just share my journey because it's kind of like a diary. I do it for kind of myself in a lot of ways. I know it sounds egotistical, but I do because I like to go back and check along the way of different things and look back on things, but as well sharing that to others who might be in the same boat. And I appreciate that that compliment. Not telling you what to do, but just making a suggestion. I would start putting a disclaimer before you make the video. Like disclaimer saying, by any means, I'm not a doctor. I'm not suggesting using steroids. I'm not telling you about my journey. I'm just telling you about my journey. Okay, that makes sense. Also, can you post the disclaimer, then mention what I just mentioned? Protect your channel. I think he says, know what I mean. And I do know what I mean, and this is something that I contemplated doing before. But first of all, that's like a lot of work, and if I was to verbally say it, I think people will lose interest right away. Like, you just kind of like jump right into things, you know what I mean? And that's what I do as well. Like, part of the thing that you complimented is just kind of like the organic nature of like what I'm trying to do here is just like to say things. And first of all, we're all adults here, we're all men, fucking just to be straight up, take it or leave it, you know what I mean? Men don't need disclaimers and things, right? It's like men can make up their own minds when they hear all their opinions and get a well-rounded opinion. I hope people listen to me and not just blindly follow me by any means. So hey, that's my disclaimer, I guess. But in all seriousness, I really don't think a disclaimer is necessary, because would you, if you're having a conversation with some guy at a bar, would you, hey, I'm going to make a disclaimer before I state my opinion on something? No, you look like that's fucking retarded, right? And but at the same time, I know since you're suggesting it because me putting it out there on YouTube as some potential authority figure, but I don't never claim to be an authority figure on that. Although at times people ask my advice and I say what I would recommend, okay? But what I recommend is based on research and doing it safely. And if they're going to do it anyway, they might as well do it the way that's known at contemporary times to be the safest, right? With the safest types of compounds, right? So, because I've had people that come to me and just wanting to be running mad Anavar cycles, which I do. That a lot of the comments I get is on Anavar only cycles, because I actually did that before in my videos, and I'm telling them, no, don't do that anymore. I did it, but I don't recommend doing that because that's not safe. They're going to shut down their nuts and testosterone production and maybe have some issues, right? So, I don't recommend. My recommendation is also in you mentioned the harm mitigation. It's just like I'm just relaying out there what's already known within the community a lot of the time. And I don't think any type of disclaimer you mentioned for protection of the channel, I don't think that is really necessary, to be honest. And I know a lot of YouTubers do that. I've seen that, but like me, I'm just talking off the top of my head shit. Like relaying what I'm doing, my own personal experience. So, if you want to follow what I'm doing, if you're a man, then fucking do it. You can make up the decision if you want to follow what I do or not, based on what I say, right? That's what I would never want to tell a man what they should do. In psychology, we call that shooting all over somebody or masturbating somebody when they must do something. I would never masturbate any person, or conversely criticize a man on what they are not doing. It's like, man, you make the decision. You're wise enough to do things yourself and to figure things out yourself, right? And that's kind of my point. That's my disclaimer, if anything. That being said, I'm also part of the medical field in Canada. But, and here is also one of my disclaimers, I guess. So you want disclaimers. I do have a wide degree of knowledge and education on human physiology and anatomy, and also a lot to do with pathology as well, things that are wrong with the body. So based on that, I understand the human body a lot better than your average person does. Okay? And I deal with the human body and physiology in a day-to-day profession. But again, disclaimer, that being said, it is beyond my scope of practice to prescribe and tell people anything, medications to take or anything, okay? But the fact that this is outside of my profession, this is my personal thing, I think is fine, right? Like, if I was to tell somebody who came to my office in my profession to do fucking TRT, no, that's outside my scope of practice. But well, you guys aren't my clients by any means or anything. I'm throwing it out there in the realm of, like, you guys are like in this community, and this is based on my own experience and research. This is essentially my case study. I'm doing experiments on myself with pharmacology, and what works, I throw it out there. Risks and side effects I'm experiencing, I'm putting it all out there. Right? This is what this channel is about. You know what I mean? I know I'm kind of going out on a limb in a way of, you know, the risks that are involved in this, in what I'm actually undertaking here, but like with anything in life, if you don't take chances and you don't extend yourself in some regard, you're never going to make strides in life. Just like in boxing, if you never throw a punch, if you never extend yourself, you know, in that extension, you're most vulnerable. But that's the only way you're going to fucking win the fight. I was watching UFC last night. There's plenty of times where guys got countered when this one guy went for a shoot, he overextended, and he just got fucking kneed right in the face. And you know, another time a guy extended himself in a kick, and he got countered by Strickland, blocked by the back leg, boom, and then like it just like hit him in the shin, and he was gimped out there, right? So yeah, there's times when you extend yourself, you're going to pay the price, right? But that's the time where you're going to also make the best strides in life, and that's what I'm trying to do, is excel in this field, because this is like a tip of the spear. Like the medical industry and everything is way back here. So to make a disclaimer, it's kind of pointless in that regard, because, you know, obviously if you're a medical profession, you're actually way behind the tip of the spear, right? The people who are actually making the groundbreaking, who are like in the front of, like, imagine I'm in Vietnam and I'm like walking through the tall elephant grass, and I'm cutting a machete through the person who's on the front, who's cutting through all the bullshit, all the shit, you know, that's the one who's the trailblazer, okay? I'm not calling myself one, but to be honest, I kind of am as well, because of just putting out there my knowledge and experience in something that is beyond the scope of practice of common medicine, right? Common medicine would never prescribe Mastron and MPP and a testosterone cycle with, you know, or adding Anavara in the last 6 weeks, or with on top of human growth hormone and Cialis. Like, the medical industry would never fucking do that. So hey, disclaimer, I'm not part of the medical industry recommending that, okay? But this is beyond that, okay? And this is part of the YouTube community of people who are, especially men in the male side of things, who are experimenting with different types of pharmacology and the ratios, the balance between, because it's not just one. It's not just taking 150 milligrams of TRT and calling it a day. You know, there's different components here, and tying it all together, and that's what I'm doing, the TRT plus / HRT side of things in people who are, you know, I'm now 40 years old, my age bracket, demographic. I think there's a lot of people out there who are highly active, like doing bodybuilding or whatever. Like I do boxing, bodybuilding, running, biking, skateboarding. You know what I mean? And just the quality of life, especially in this age too. And I'll also throw it out there as part of the disclaimer that I do not know all of the potential risks and side effects here. Like I think nobody does because, like for example, a compound like Masteron, is mostly researched on women for breast tumor type of situation. That women with breast tumors use Masteron to anti-estrogenic effects to reduce the breast tumor, right? So the research was not directed towards men, and I'm a man taking it. So in that sense, it is a bit experimental. Okay, so that's another disclaimer. So this is, I guess, I am doing some disclaimers. I'll just do it here right now as part of one thing, but I really don't. To go back to one of my initial points, at the beginning of each channel to say a fucking disclaimer, it's just like boring and pointless. Like I think people already know that. People can take it or leave it. Like literally, again, like in a normal conversation would you say disclaimers? No, this is very conversational. This is just me organic talking to you. Okay, so I really don't think it's necessary. And also, obviously, as you watch my channel, my production is not something that's like I'm putting time and effort into making some video production to you guys. In that case, I probably would have a little disclaimer. It's just I just press my record button and talk. Like in that regard, I think that's why a lot of people who listen to my channel might like it, because it's just like me talking. Like I'm talking to me, to you, like as a human being, right? As a mano a mano. So I think I'll leave it there. What are your thoughts on that? As far as protecting my channel, I have really no concerns about that. I don't fucking care about if my channel gets deleted or not. I really don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's realistic. So I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching. Love the comment though, and I'll leave it with this. It's something that I also thought about myself sometimes. Okay, making disclaimers. So I appreciate the concern, but I really do, and also appreciate the compliments on making just straightforward and real content. That's what I'm here to do. Peace, brother. Thank you for watching.